What's up, positive bitches? If you're seeing this video, you're meant to be here, so keep watching. Before we get into today's video, I do want to give you a quick reminder that my monthly manifestation vision planner, that bitch is manifesting, on my Patreon is live. You can go sign up right now for a subscription. Inside, this planner has all my tips and tricks on how to manifest anything and everything that you want. It has worked wonders for me, and I've already gotten feedback that it's working amazing for you. Also, on my Patreon, you can find meditations that I created to help you manifest, to connect to your higher self, and also in here, there's inner child work. Be sure you're following me on Instagram at Vibing with Cece and at That Bitch Is Positive. And if you have not yet listened to my podcast, That Bitch Is Positive, sis, what are you doing? Without further ado, let's get into this video. I had the most transformative experience in my life thus far this past week. I went to heaven on earth, literally. It's called the Shosugiban House. First of all, the place is freaking gorgeous. I went there with my boyfriend. Me and my boyfriend created an itinerary for a 3-day little retreat. One of the things I did while I was there was a plant spirit journey. I knew I had to do this. I didn't know what. I didn't even know what it was, but I just knew, okay, Cece, you're meant to do this. After we had breakfast, we met up with Christiana, who is just a light being soul, who's just so amazing. We met her the day before when we did energy balancing, and she used sound bowls and aromatherapy. It was beautiful, but the plant spirit journey really is up another level. She brought us into this dome-like structure. I kept saying when we walked in, oh my God, I feel like I'm in the womb. I feel like I'm back in a womb. Christiana already knew a little bit about us because we spoke to her the day before during the energy balancing, but I told her that I really wanted to heal my body, my soul, my mind, and I'm just really ready to release those inner child wounds, aid to them, and help my inner child become confident and ready to attract everything it is that I want in my lifetime. For the actual ceremony, Christiana chose, and I have it right here, the mugwort plant, and she chose this based off of what I wanted to heal. We got to take the plant home, and obviously she's a little bit dried out right now because it's been a couple of days, but I still love her just the same. When we were given this plant, we got to feel it and just notice how it felt in our hands, what it smelled like, and it gave off the most interesting smell. I've never smelled this smell before. I can't even describe it. What I said during the ceremony was that it smelled like a new closet. Instead of Christiana just telling us about the plant, she actually allowed us to just use our intuition to feel what the plant wanted to tell us. In panpsychism, there's the belief that all things have consciousness, and I 100% believe that plants have consciousness. I know that for me personally, taking care of my own plants, watering them, has been teaching me so much. Originally, when I got my plants, the guy at the store told me to water them like once a week. I did that and they all died, and then I thought to myself, let me just feel what I think is right, and our plants can communicate with us on a subconscious level. And then I automatically knew, once I got out of autopilot, I instinctively knew to water them every single day. And now I just listen. I create space and time where I have an interaction with my plants, whether it's conscious or not, and I try to really feel what it is that they're telling me rather than just imposing my own will onto the plant. To me, this plant feels very motherly, and I just kept coming back to the womb, the womb, the womb, and actually this plant can help with digestion, so it was funny that my mind kept going there. Christiana told us that the reason we're using this plant is because it's going to help us visualize and understand what it is we need to do now, what we need to realize, and what can help heal us. After we got to know our little plant, we drank the tea and we just were quiet with ourselves. We were just connecting with ourselves. And then it was time to get into a meditative state. I chose to lie down because I know if I'm sitting down, I'm gonna get uncomfortable. And this meditation was probably about a half hour, 45 minutes. We closed our eyes and Christiana was playing the drums. She has the most amazing singing voice as well, and it was just so calming. She has been highly trained. I know she goes to Ecuador and does all of these things. She really knew what she was doing, and that was very apparent to me. It really felt that way, and I felt very, very comfortable immediately with her. The singing along with the drums really stirred up an emotion within me. We all know a bitch loves to cry. Of course, I start crying almost immediately. I want to go into what I actually saw in my mind's eye because this is really what the mugwort was supposed to do for us, help us visualize. As soon as I closed my eyes, I again just felt like I was in my mother's womb. If you've listened to my podcast, you know that I had a bit of trouble getting to planet Earth. Before I was born, the doctor told my mom that she had to have a DNC, which would have wiped her womb out, and therefore I would not be alive. My mom fought for me to be here, but during that time, I'm sure it was very stressful for her to be fighting for her life, fighting for my life, and trying to also take care of 2 other children. During this meditation, I felt the anxiety of my mother in the womb. I already knew what she was feeling. I knew something was not going right. In my mind's eye, I also saw and really felt bodily that I was being born, and I was born into a chaotic energy field. There was a lot of commotion. First of all, when we are born, there's bright lights, there's some rando ripping us out of our mother's womb, it's cold, we're crying. It's a traumatic experience just in itself. But on top of that, I was feeling the anxiety of my mother and even this doctor saying she can't have me, and my mom saying I'm going to have her, I don't care what I have to do. For me, this made me realize that when I was born into this chaotic energy field, and then I took this energy with me throughout my life, making me fall very much into my masculine energy when I wanted to be in my core, which is feminine energy. Being in this chaotic energy, I always had to put my guard up. I always had to be go, go, go. I realized during this meditation that that is why for most of my life, I was in my masculine energy and I wasn't able to get into my feminine energy. It was because I felt unsafe. Even though I lived in a beautiful home, I had food, I had water, I had clothes, I had more than the average person for sure, I still felt unsafe energetically. I am so grateful for everything that I've had. I am so unbelievably blessed. I'm getting that feeling you get in your nose when you're about to cry. Whew. And I know that, but no matter what you have in the 3D, it doesn't mean that you're gonna feel safe. Having certain material things does not equate to feeling safe or loved or seen and heard. Of course, there was a level of certainty. I knew where my next meal was coming. I knew I had clothing for school. I knew there was a roof over my head. That is all 3D certainty. And we need that to be able to survive. But there's another level of certainty, one that is unseen, one that is spiritual, that for me felt very fragmented. I realized that I don't need to keep carrying around this chaotic energy. I can let it go. It allowed me to survive up until this point. I had to ask myself, is this energy still serving me or is it hurting me? And it's hurting me. It was the energy of my inner child, but it doesn't have to be the energy of the healthy adult that I currently am, or striving to be as healthy as I can. When I did past life regression, it made me realize, oh, I believe I have been to planet Earth before. That paired with this experience brought another level of, wait a second, I've done these difficult things before. In my mind's eye, I literally saw a plane have a rocky landing, and I realized even if I had a rocky landing this lifetime trying to get here, I still got here. And this is just one of my landings. And I don't need to carry around energy from something that actually has nothing to do with me and was the energy of the people who were there before I came onto the planet. I can just carry around the energy I want to see in the world. I always say, be the vibe you wish to see in the world. A girl has a flair for the dramatics. I love entertainment, but I want to feel at home and calm 85 to 90% of the time. The other thing I saw was the mugwort plant grew and grew and grew and grew and grew, and it was huge. And I was looking up at it and I was in a maze, and I couldn't figure out how to get out of the maze, and it was very anxiety. It was the energy that I've been carrying around of anxiety. And then my inner child, little young Cece, ran out and she was showing me how to get through the little cracks and the little crevices. So I followed her. I was like, all right, sis, let's do this thing. I felt like we were rushing, there was no time, and I couldn't figure out a good plan. Finally, I stopped my inner child, and instead of criticizing her, which I've done for most of my life, I gave her love. I took her into my arms and I said, look, it's okay. I am here now. I am your healthy adult who can guide you. I'm gonna be here with you. We don't have to be small and go through these little cracks and crevices. We don't have to rush our way out. We can be here together. Let me use my intuition and guide us together. Become a part of my journey. Be with me. Let me love you. You don't have to guide me, the adult. We just hugged and embraced one another, and it was really, really beautiful. By me stopping, slowing down, connecting to my own energy, which I believe at my core, I have a calm energy. My rising sign is a Gemini, so people always see me as like talkative and blah, 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 blah. And yes, that is totally a part of me, but I also love to be quiet and be with my intuition and not have noise or a lot of light and just be with myself. And when I did this in my mind, I was able to get us out of the maze. I do want to mention, I don't have a tough time visualizing ever. I can go there quick. My boyfriend, however, does have a difficult time visualizing, and he said that this plant really helped him visualize, whereas before he didn't even understand how to do that. This experience for me feels like I'm quantum leaping, because I feel like I am healing with leaps and bounds. After the meditation, when I sat up and we were talking about our experience, Christiana goes, do you mind if I do a womb healing on you? And I was like, please do. I've felt like something could be wrong. She came over to me and not even completely sure what occurred, but she was looking at my stomach and making noises and snapping, and she reminded me to make sure I'm giving love to my womb and my body and my tummy and not be critical of it. And for whatever reason, 3 days leading into this, I was in a bit of a funk, and when she said that, it immediately lifted that funk off of me. I'm so thankful for my body. This body, even though I've criticized it for most of my life, has always been here for me, loving me, wanting me to survive, and bringing me to the most beautiful places, allowing me to enjoy this earthly experience. Without this body, I wouldn't be able to be here. We are constantly on a healing journey, so one day I could heal something and in 2 months it comes back and I'm like, oh, whoopsies, didn't know that was gonna happen. Let me go back to it, fine tune, let it go. And then maybe in 2 months again, I have to go back and fine tune. There's no race to get to, I'm finally healed, everything's great. No, that doesn't work. It doesn't exist. It's really about just checking in with yourself and just seeing how you're doing. And oh, I don't feel great today. Let me just be a little bit more compassionate with myself. Let me ask my inner child, what's up? Let me tell my inner child, I'm here for you. Let me comfort my inner child rather than criticizing her. I think that was the biggest message I got from all of this. I also saw a line of my ancestors. I saw my old wise self, and obviously I saw my inner child as well. And I just felt such unity from where I've came from. Even though I don't know those ancestors, I don't know their names, I don't know who they are, I know they're my ancestors, and oh, I'm getting goosebumps. And I just know they support me so much, and I feel so loved by them. That was another great aspect of the meditation. I highly recommend this plant spirit journey. It's just tea. It's all natural, it's plant medicine, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It was really, really mild. So don't be afraid that something crazy is gonna happen, but make sure you go to a practitioner, like at the Shosugi Ban house, and do it right. If you're gonna do it right. Let me know if you liked this video. Give it a big thumbs up if you want more videos like this, so I know. Let me know in the comments, would you ever try something like this? Have you tried plant medicine before? And in the comments below, I want you to commit to being compassionate with your inner child rather than criticizing them. Say, I am committed to comforting my inner child rather than criticizing them. When you type that, you're wiring it into your brain, and that's what we need to do. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, be sure to follow me on Instagram, and I will see you in the next video. Mwah!